Hi, Shalom and welcome to How to Pronounce and Say in Hebrew. And in this video, we will discuss the verb to have, and in Hebrew, yesh, lihiyot le. And I promise you a surprise, but please don't get too excited. It is linguistics, right? It's not the movies. Let's begin with present time. There is a big difference between English and Hebrew. In English, for example, I have a book. I is the subject of the sentence. Have, the verb, is the predicate. And the book is the object. But in Hebrew, completely different logic. The book is the subject of the sentence, and that is why you can see that in all the sentences there is sefer, right? You can read by now, but the here yesh, instead of the verb that keeps changing, like have, has, see yesh, 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 it stays the same. But what is different here is li. It's like for me, yesh li sefer, but the subject here is, as I said, sefer. What do I have? I have a book. This is a different logic. So when I want to say I have a book, yesh li sefer, you have a book. If I'm talking to a man, yesh lecha sefer. I'm talking to a woman, yesh lach sefer. He has a book, yesh lo sefer. She has a book, yesh la sefer. As you can see, the small dagesh here, it's called mapik. One day we will talk about all the kinds of dageshim that we have in Hebrew. We have a book, yesh lanu sefer. You have a book, yesh lachem. If I'm talking to men, and if I'm talking to women, yesh lachen sefer. And they have a book. I can say yesh lahem for men and lahen sefer. Here I'm talking about an umbrella. And a book is masculine in Hebrew, sefer, and umbrella, mitriya, in Hebrew is feminine. But in present times it does not change. It's still yesh li mitriya, yesh lecha mitriya, yesh lach mitriya, יש לו מטריה, יש לה מטריה, יש לנו מטריה, יש לכם מטריה, יש לכן מטריה. If I'm talking to women, יש להם מטריה or יש להן מטריה. I wanted you to see this because when we were talking about future or past times, you will see that there is a difference and the change is coming. So future tense, and now you can understand why I was talking about subject and object and the predicate, because ihyeh relates to the book, to sefer in Hebrew. It is always ihyeh because sefer is the masculine, and it doesn't matter if I'm talking about myself, one, or I'm talking about more than one. It always relates to the subject. Ihyeh li sefer, ihyeh lecha sefer, ihyeh lach sefer. If I'm talking to a woman, ihyeh lo sefer, ihyeh la sefer, ihyeh lanu sefer, ihyeh lachem. Yes, and ihyeh lachen sefer, ihyeh lahem sefer, ihyeh lahen sefer. So this is when I'm talking to men, if I'm talking to women, if I'm talking about men, if I'm talking about women. And here is also the surprise I was promising you. Can you see it? Ihyeh, ihyeh. Do you remember it from the verb to be? Ta-da! Completely different logic and meaning here. And again, future tense, but this time umbrella, which is feminine. So instead of ihyeh, you can see that tihyeh because it relates to the subject, mitriya, which is feminine. So always תהיה. לי, לך, לך, לו, לה, לנו, לכם, לכן, להם ולהן. Always תהיה מטריה. Past tense, you can see the same logic, and you remember היה from the verb to be, but instead of הוא היה בפריז, he was in Paris, here היה לי ספר, היה לך או לך ספר, היה לו ספר, היה לה ספר, היה לנו ספר, היה לכם או לכן ספר, היה להם, להן ספר. I will remind you, the book is masculine, so it is היה, because היה relates to ספר. היה מתקשר, right, relates to ספר. Yes, you guessed it, back to the mitriya, because it is feminine and it is a good example. So in past tense, I had an umbrella, הייתה לי מטריה. You had an umbrella, הייתה לך, if I'm talking to a man, or הייתה לך מטריה, if I'm talking to a woman. He had an umbrella, הייתה לו מטריה. She had an umbrella, הייתה לה מטריה, because הייתה relates to the מטריה. We had an umbrella, הייתה לנו מטריה. You had an umbrella, הייתה לכם, or לכן מטריה. They had an umbrella, הייתה להם, הייתה להן מטריה. What happens when we have more than one things? So let's talk about cats. Yeah, stays as before. יש לי חתולים. חתולים. Cat is חתול. Cats are חתולים. יש לי חתולים. יש לך חתולים. יש לך חתולים. He has cats. יש לו חתולים. She has cats. יש לה חתולים. יש לנו חתולים. יש לכם חתולים. יש לכן חתולים. They have cats. יש להם חתולים. יש להן חתולים. As in the examples I gave before, when I use the yesh present tense, it is always yesh li something, and it doesn't matter if it's feminine or masculine. But it keeps changing when I'm talking about future tense and past tense. So I will have dogs, יהיו לי כלבים, because the יהיו relates to כלבים, and כלב is masculine single, but כלבים is masculine plural, and in future and past the verb is changing. So יהיו לי כלבים. You will have dogs, יהיו לך כלבים, יהיו לך כלבים. He will have dogs, יהיו לו כלבים, and so on. יהיו לה כלבים, יהיו לנו כלבים, יהיו לכם כלבים, יהיו לכן כלבים, יהיו להם כלבים, יהיו להן כלבים. But יהיו relates to the subject of the sentence, which is כלבים. Past tense and shoes, נעליים in Hebrew is feminine. Na'al is shoe, and plural is na'alaim, shoes, and it's feminine. But as you can see, I'm not talking about hayali or haitali, because this is plural and the verb relates to the subject. So hayuli na'alaim, hayu lecha na'alaim, hayu lach na'alaim, hayu lo na'alaim, hayu la na'alaim. We had choose hayu lanu na'alaim, Hayu relates to the na'alaim, to the subject. Yes, na'alaim is the subject, and I know that it sounds like I'm talking again and again about the same thing, but this is a different logic, and I want you to understand this. So don't get mad. Thank you. Hayu lachem na'alaim, hayu lachen na'alaim, hayu lahem na'alaim, hayu lahen na'alaim. The famous quote by Martin Luther King, I have a dream, and in Hebrew, yesh li chalom. And if I wanted to say in the future, ihyeh li chalom, ihyeh li chalom, and in the past, hayali chalom, hayali chalom. I will put the links to the first and second lesson for those who still need to see it again or for the first time, to the Hebrew alphabet, print form, and the Nikud. So yeah, you can check it up in links in the description below. I hope that I made it clear and this is not too hard for you. I hope so. If yes, you can, write your opinion in the comment section below. And until next time, right? And I will see you in the next video.